So hello there and welcome back to the channel. This is Mel's Gaming here with another The Hunter Call of the Wild video. Now this video is going to be a mixture of both single player and multiplayer clips, and it's basically a load of trophy clips that I have had that I really just haven't been able to work into other videos. It's all just random different clips that have been happening recently in between getting great ones and working on other videos, and now I finally have enough footage to put all of these different trophies into their own video. And we're starting off with a legendary mountain lion here on Silver Ridge Peaks that walked out at one of the lakes I was grinding for black bears in search of my second Great One black bear. This was actually the lake that my second Great One black bear ended up spawning at, but this was a trophy that ended up showing up before the Great One black bear. Now he just makes diamond at 39.01, so he's literally 0.01 over the diamond requirement, but he's also a dark red fur, so that was a really nice diamond to get. Then moving over to Medved Tiger, and I was on my moose grind. I can't actually remember which Great One moose this was before, but this was on one of the grinds for one of my recent Great One moose, and this big piebald ended up showing up, which was really awesome to see. This was by far the biggest piebald I had ever seen, so really awesome to see. I love the piebald moose. I think they look really beautiful. Even though they are definitely the easiest rare to find for moose, they are really stunning to see. And getting a really nice size gold at 254.09 was a really nice find. Always great to see trophies like this popping up on a Great One grind, gives you some more encouragement to keep going with a grind, so was really happy to end up getting that guy. Then moving over to Revontuli Coast, where I have been grinding for Great One Whitetail, and I ended up getting a couple of really huge level 3 bucks just before my latest Great One Whitetail showed up. And we're starting with this guy here, and I just knew that he looked really huge. So I hit record, managed to drop him and another buck out of this group, and I was really curious as to what this guy was going to score because he just looked absolutely massive to me. And picking him up, he is my biggest diamond whitetail ever at 274.3, which he's just bigger than any other whitetail I've had. My previous personal best was actually from multiplayer and was a 273. It was wild to me that my previous personal best was actually from multiplayer, considering how many whitetail and especially diamond whitetail I've shot over the past couple of years with all of the Great One grinds I've done. So I'm really pleased to finally have a new personal best and for it to actually be from one of my single player Great One grinds. Then, not long after getting that huge 274.3, I ended up having this giant buck show up, and again I thought he just looked massive, so I hit record, and weirdly enough he scored 274.3, which is so wild. They're very close in weight, just slightly different, but to be the exact same score. And these were literally, I think, only a few hours apart or a few runs apart, which was insane. And then I think there was like maybe one or two other diamonds, and then the Great One showed up. So it was just really wild, the size of the whitetail that I was actually getting. Absolutely insane. And to have a new personal best and have it doubled effectively is absolutely insane. Then this guy ended up showing up, a huge max weight estimate Melanistic, and he is by far my personal best Melanistic. I could tell just by, looking at the rack that he was going to be bigger than any other Mela I'd ever shot. He is absolutely huge. Now, I knew he wasn't going to be a diamond at all with that rack. This rack doesn't make diamond, but he was going to be a huge gold regardless, which is really fantastic. The Melanistics are really quite rare to see, so absolutely fantastic to get such a huge Melanistic gold at 245.16. That is an absolute beast of a Mela, and like I said, way better than any other Melanistic I have ever shot, so I was super pleased with this. I do like this rack. I do wish the points were a bit thicker though, because they do look a bit sort of thin and spindly, but still a really fantastic buck that I was so happy to get. Then, literally only a couple of days ago, after the release of the Midsummer Weapons Cosmetics pack, I decided to go into multiplayer and do a bit of hunting, and I came across this level 5 Canada goose. Also on Revontuli, I was actually out here looking for a diamond mountain hare, which is the only diamond I don't have in the game currently, and I just have absolutely no luck with finding big ones. But instead I ended up finding this diamond Canada goose. 8.95 on the score, so not a huge diamond, but still a really nice find to actually come across, seeing as I was having still just no luck at all with finding any big mountain hares. Now we're going to move on to a few Emerald Coast clips, and this first clip I actually recorded on release day of Emerald Coast. I was hunting around looking for some of the new species and ended up coming across a 9 legendary red deer. Now, I was really hoping that this guy would actually make diamond, as I had just been trolled by a 9 legendary in the early access with this same rag. So I was crossing my fingers that this guy would actually make it, and still just absolutely marvelling at the new textures for these guys, because they look so much better now. Absolutely stunning, and the dark brown might be my favourite fur type for them. I think it looks so majestic, so beautiful. I absolutely love what they did with the red deer. They look amazing. And this guy does actually make diamond at 251.61, so really nice to actually get a big red deer finally with the new furs and textures that didn't actually end up trolling. Really happy about that. Now, speaking of trolls, and an animal that normally trolls quite a lot is the feral goat, but I had a feeling when I found this guy in multiplayer that he had a pretty good chance at being a diamond. Those horns combined with that score estimate made me think that this guy was probably going to end up being a diamond. I was actually hunting for kangaroos in their drink time at the time, which is why it's dark, and this guy ended up spooking past me and I had to track him down. He looked absolutely massive, and he is a really big diamond at 215.48, and you can see I had to track him for quite a way before I actually managed to get that shot with the 22-250, so I was really happy that he did actually end up being a really good sized diamond. Now, sticking with Emerald Coast at night, and this time I was actually hunting for sambar in their drink time as well as banteng, and I came to this particular lake in search of sambar drinking and ended up finding this instead, a level 5 piebald female red fox. So cool to actually see, because I actually hadn't seen any alive rare red fox in game since these guys got their rework. I already had one of each rare in the trophy lodge. I had an albino, a piebald and a melanistic, so I got to take a look at what the sort of new rare textures look like in the lodge, but I hadn't actually seen any of them alive in game, so getting to see this was really fantastic. And just looking at this and how beautiful it is, I just imagine what a Great One Red Fox could look like. I think that a Great One Red Fox could be so insanely beautiful with maybe some cross fox variants and, you know, just all of the different variants that Red Fox can end up having. I think there could be some insanely beautiful Great One Red Fox, and I think Emerald Coast would be my map of choice to grind for one, and that's all I could think when looking at this absolutely stunning piebald. Can you imagine a fabled piebald Red Fox, or like I said, a fabled cross fox? That would just be so gorgeous, I think. I would really love that. Now moving on to the next clip, and we have a level 5 sambar. Now this guy looked really interesting to me as soon as I spotted him. He seemed to have sort of a tall, narrow rack instead of sort of the more wide set racks that I've seen for sambar. So I was kind of thinking that this guy was probably gonna troll because he wouldn't have much spread. But when I pick him up, he is actually a diamond, and not only is he a diamond, he's almost max weight at 299.43 kg, but he only just scores over diamond at 169.99, when diamond is 166.43. So he doesn't make diamond by a huge amount, he's a decent amount over, but it was really interesting to me to have a sambar with such a high weight that doesn't actually score that high above diamond. Then moving on to the next clip, and we have another level 5 sambar, this time with a bit more of a sort of normal looking rag. This is much more what I would expect from a level 5 sambar. It's a bit more wide set, not quite as narrow as the previous one. This guy is also a diamond, actually scores a little bit lower than the previous at 169.23, but you can see the weight difference. This guy only weighs 293.64 kg. So really interesting to have two different sambar with such different weights, but very, very close in score. I found that really, really interesting to actually see. Now moving on to the final Emerald Coast clip, and we have a trophy that I was extremely excited to get. I was hunting banteng at night along the coast, and I spotted something that stood out from the rest. I could see, even through the night vision, that this was a melanistic female banteng. She was just pure black compared to all of the others through the night vision, just absolutely like a shadow. It was so incredible to actually see, even through the night vision, and as she actually ended up running towards me, fleeing from some crocodiles, I managed to get a really good shot on her, and you can see she didn't go far before she goes down. And actually seeing her there without the spotting outline and any other sort of light sources to sort of block it, you can see that she was just completely, just pure black. Absolutely gorgeous. I love the rare banteng. I have only had rare females so far, an albino female and now a melanistic female, but they are just absolutely gorgeous, and I'm so happy that I've actually managed to at least harvest one of each of the rares for these guys so far. The goal is to get a couple of rare males, to get a melanistic male and an albino male, but I'm just happy to have an example for each of them already. That is just so cool. Absolutely stunning, just that jet black fur. And like I said, even at night, it was extremely noticeable. You know, all of the other females are that sort of orange or beige colour, and then you have this amongst them, and obviously, compared to the others, sort of being a lightish colour with the night vision, this just stood out like a sore thumb. It was just such a cool thing to get to see, and to be able to actually harvest her was just so awesome. I'm really happy about this trophy. I actually have been kind of grinding banteng a little bit in single player, hoping to get some rare males, so I hope that we can do that eventually, but super happy to have another rare female for the lodge for now. Now moving on to the final few clips of this video, and it's actually a set of 3 clips, all from my single player Te Awarwara. Now we're starting off with this clip of a melanistic male mallard. I was so excited when I spotted this guy. I actually spotted him on my very first Great One fallow deer grind. That's how long I've been waiting to share this clip. And I spotted him and immediately I knew it was a melanistic. And I hadn't seen a melanistic mallard since these guys got their rework with Revontuli. So I was super stoked to actually see one. These are a proper rare now. You do not see a lot of melanistic mallards. So I was absolutely ecstatic, and it is just the most gorgeous bird. And on top of that, it is actually a gold, being a decent sized level 2 male. He is absolutely beautiful. The colours in those feathers in the light are just absolutely stunning. I was so happy to actually get this as like a bonus trophy whilst grinding, and it was just fantastic. You know, I wasn't hunting mallards at all, being there to grind for a Great One fallow. So just to have this particular flock to come and land at this lake and then get to see this guy amongst them was just so lucky. I really couldn't be happier with this trophy. Just such a gorgeous bird, and finally getting to see a melanistic, you know, with the rework, I'm so happy about it. Now moving on to the next clip, and we're sticking with mallards. This time we're taking a look at a rare female. Now I'd seen this female a couple of times and I could never actually pick it out to get a shot at it. But this time, as I was actually sat here shooting fallow from this tripod, I saw her again and I was pretty sure that this was the bird that I thought looked a little bit different. It just, every time I saw it, I thought it looked different and I could just never get a shot at it before it disappeared. And I finally managed to drop her, and walking over to it, I knew that it was definitely something different. And picking it up, it's actually a blonde. So this is what the blonde mallards now look like. They are way harder to spot. Like I said, I'd seen her a couple of times, but I'd see it and then she'd get lost amongst all the other females, and then I'd think, is that actually a rare? Is that the bird that I initially thought looked different? And I just never got to pick her out of the flock until she was out there on the water, and I could just see that this bird looked so much paler than the other females. But like I said, really tricky one to actually spot. The only real difference is the paler yellow feathers. So if you actually have one of these, it's going to be tricky to spot, but is a really cool rare because they are actually now a proper rare. And moving on to the final clip of this video, we have a trophy that I have wanted for such a long time in the Hunter Call of the Wild. We have a level 3 piebald mallard. This was so cool. I was just running along this lake on my normal fallow run, and I spot this level 3, and I was crossing my fingers that it might be a piebald, which is the thing that I've had with mallards for such a long time. Every time I see a level 3, I hope it's something other than a normal common. And I couldn't believe what I was looking at. It was actually a piebald. Now, piebalds aren't rare for mallards. They're not a rare, they're more like an uncommon, if that. It's just something that I have always wanted because I think they are so beautiful. And it's a real shame that these aren't rarer than they are. They are really quite common. But getting a diamond one has proved so difficult for me. I have seen so many posted and I'm always like, damn, I would really, really love to get one of those. So I was absolutely beyond thrilled to get this whilst grinding for Great One Fallow. Couldn't believe it. I really couldn't believe it. I got so unlucky a couple of years back and I shot a level 3 brown hybrid male and it trolled, which to get a troll mallard, especially back then, was just such a rare thing. Like, I had never seen one. And I picked up this brown hybrid thinking, oh my gosh, this is going to be my first diamond duck that isn't a common. Picked it up and it trolled and I was like, are you serious? Of all of the ducks that could troll, it would be that one. And ever since then, I've just had this goal in my head of getting a diamond mallard with a plumage type anything other than just a standard common. And it's just been this goal that I've always had. And so to actually get a diamond piebald, I'm thrilled. Like I said, I know this isn't the rarest trophy out there. It's not a super rare or anything like that. But for me, this completes a personal goal. So for me, this is a really, really cool trophy. I'm really stoked about it. And I just, as soon as I saw it, and I saw it was a piebald, I was like, there's no way. Every time I've been in multiplayer hunting ducks, and I see a level 3 mallard, I'm like, please let this be the one. Please let it be a brown hybrid or a piebald, just something other than a common. And finally, after so many common diamonds, one that isn't a common plumage type. Absolutely fantastic. And the piebalds are so pretty. I mean, the green on the head mixed with the white looks so delicate and pretty to me. I really, really love it. So I'm really, absolutely beyond thrilled with this trophy. I got some really, really good initial spawn duck luck on my Tay Aurora, and I just couldn't be happier. I love rare birds, so getting the Melanistic and the blonde was really fantastic. And then getting this guy as a bonus, just absolutely awesome. And I found all three whilst grinding for Great One Fallow. So if I hadn't been out here grinding for a completely different species, never would have got these probably. I wasn't massively focused on hunting them. So I don't know if I ever would have seen these, or, definitely not for a long time if it wasn't for grinding for a Great One Fallow. So I'm super, super happy about that. But that is going to be it for this video. I really hope you have enjoyed it. A lot of trophies I've been really excited to share, and it's just been waiting to get enough footage to put this video together. So I'm really, really excited about sharing it. But that is going to be it for this one. So thank you so, so much for watching and for all your support as always. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you.